Hey everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up With The Chaldeans. I'm Anthony Toma here with Junior Binno. We're here today with Joey Namou of Woodward Sports. They just launched. He's here to kind of promote it and bring what they're doing to you so you can benefit from all of the hoopla over there. Hey Joey, what's going on?
I gotta be honest, first time I've ever in my life been called Joey Namou.
Uh-oh.
Not first time.
Life.
No, first time being interviewed where I get that, because this is honestly one of my first Chaldean interviews.
All right.
And it feels good to be with our people.
All right.
Good to have you on, brother.
And so what do they usually call you?
It's just Joey Radio or just Joey. Then nobody knows how to say my last name.
Oh, okay.
Or at least to say it correctly.
Right, gotcha.
But you said it perfectly. Thank you, AT.
Comes from playing in the CFL with your brothers.
Yes.
And you, of course, but for them earlier
You
on.
forgot I played that one year.
No, I did not forget. You had some highlights.
On the bench, getting the water.
No, you played center, I remember.
I did, a little bit.
Yep. So why don't you kick it off by, I don't know, giving the audience a little 2-minute background, not like you need an introduction, but kind of give them a little history.
Yeah, I mean, definitely made some big changes in my career over the last 11 months. So a lot of you know me for being on Channel 955, and I worked with Mojo in the morning for quite a long time. It was about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my story, I mean, I was one of those that when I first got started, I just had no clue what I wanted to do. You know, our parents always wanted us to go the school route.
Sure.
And I got 2 brothers that are dentists, so it's like they took the school route, and then my other brother, JP, is kind of similar to me, to where school really wasn't what we wanted to do, but we just still did it. So
Sure.
I went for marketing, and I was going after an opportunity to be an accountant. I was like, I got an uncle, he's pretty successful in this, and I know a lot of people that are CPAs, and they do well. So I was like, all right, let me give this a try, and I just didn't like it. So that's kind of how I just stumbled upon the opportunity, to where I heard Mojo looking for an intern one time, and I called up. Got super lucky with the opportunity. And I was actually, long story short, I was on my way for a midterm at Oakland University my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
I was 17 years old still. That's when I got started. And I just skipped the midterm and I went for this interview.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. But I mean,
shit.
it's one of those that, you know, Chaldeans, we're hustlers.
That's
If there's
ballsy, though.
any little bit of an opportunity,
Yeah.
we're gonna take it, jump on it, and run with it. So
Wow.
rest
I didn't know
the
that.
rest is history.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that was obviously the big start to my career, and then, you know, I built a really good brand for myself. Obviously, our people supported me tremendously. If it wasn't for the Chaldean community and the way, I mean, you closely, you know, like a lot of relationships that I personally have were things that you started off for me. So I appreciate that. That's why I wanted to come on the show. But, you know, that really was the start for me. And then
you really make the community proud.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you being out there in the public eye and shining a bright light on our community. It's awesome.
Yeah, especially doing something different. Like even you guys doing this show, it's doing something different that the rest of our people, like how many Chaldeans are out there in the entertainment industry like us right now? It's not many.
No, that's the thing. So that's why it's great to highlight stuff like yours. And, you know, you asked in the point of what the show brings, and that's it right there. So like you give the advantage to the next generation to look up and see, and it's like the trend gets set. And when you can make it look so good because of the way you did it, and you build a reputation, then the next want to follow and be like you, which is a big thing. And that same thing, like we said, there's other shows now that are even coming about in our community, which we want to see. That's beautiful. Keep things moving by what you're doing. It helps all of us.
And by you being on the show and close to Mojo and bringing Mojo actually into the Chaldean community, and now he's a big part of the Chaldean community, you open the door for other Chaldeans to kind of intern next, which is, you know, your niece.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, shout out to her. She's, you know, that's good. Not only is it that it's just to say my niece, but before it was different. She's a young Chaldean woman.
Yeah.
And for them to walk into these kind of environments to start jobs like that wasn't something that was as easy back then when we grew up. So again, you open up doors. That's what it does. And by you doing that, then it leads to the next thing and the next thing. And then when you have that, you have a good crowd following.
Right.
The people that watch the show and the people that see guys like you tend to want to be that. And it's not to say that anybody's reinventing your wheel, but it's a good wheel you're turning. So people want to just take, you know, a shot at it too. And you open the doors. That's
Yeah,
big.
I mean, you mentioning Rena, and then there's also Lydia Jarjosa there. So there's a couple Chaldeans, which is
It's awesome.
which is amazing. And honestly, one that I want to thank personally is Slim, because if
Slim,
it wasn't
big
for
shout out.
Slim, I would have never even have thought about it. So when it really comes down to it, Slim's the one I got to give the credit to, because
That's awesome.
he started it, and then he had my cousin's radio show, that show.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was awesome, because he let me come in. I saw him and I was like, I want to come see what it's like.
Yeah.
And this was probably a year before I got into it, and I saw it and I was like, man, this is fun.
So I remember you would do nightclub gigs, and you'd be you'd come in there, you'd be the DJ, and you'd shout out, you'd be the MC of the night. I remember there was a time where you did this for a very long time, that you didn't drink.
Yeah.
So you were doing all this sober, you were on the scene. I mean, that's I got to give you a lot of credit for that. That's awesome. And you set a very good example during that time, because for the most part everybody knew that you were sober throughout, which was very, very cool. And hopefully you put that mentality into the youth that were listening to you and following you around and idolizing you.
True.
Yeah, that's honestly always been a big thing for me, is wanting to be somebody that other people could look up to. I'm always out doing high school events, and I'm always around the youth.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one thing. I mean, I want to be an example to the kids, because I mean, listen, I go out to these gigs all the time, and I'm the only one that's sober.
Yeah.
And people look and they're
I
like,
joined you now. I'm 5 years now, clear.
That's awesome.
Yep, I just had 5 minutes over there. 5 minutes.
No, I didn't drink yesterday.
Okay.
See, look, that's good.
Yeah,
You knew he was coming.
One day
You knew he was
it's
coming on the show.
One day
You
it's
had to set a good example. So
He
there
knew
it
he
is.
had that question.
That's what I'm saying.
So he
He
said,
just said
listen,
it.
I'm sober 24
Perfect.
hours.
24
But I mean,
hours.
it's one of those things. And actually, I mean, the truth to it all is, I mean, you remember earlier in my career, I was going all day, all night, never sleeping, one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And it was scary. I was driving home, and I was living in my parents' house at the time, and I made it home, and I was turning into my neighborhood, and I just fell asleep. And I drove straight into the middle of the sign.
Sure.
And that moment right there was a moment where I was like, I lost control of my life.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So then that's when I was like, this is probably what it's like when you're drinking, or when you're intoxicated or something, where you just have no control.
Sure.
So to me, that was like a drunk driving experience. I mean, being tired to me and driving is worse than drunk. Well, I'm not going to say that, but they're both horrible.
No, it is. I don't know if you know my story. That's how this happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever watched it.
I don't.
Yeah, that's just ironic that you're saying that. And this whole situation was, I fell asleep, and it is compared to being drunk, because you are dozing at the wheel. This was a matter of a 30-second split decision of passing out and coming back, and your whole life just changed.
And you were sober, just passed out.
Sober as can be. I was just into a drive, and that was it. But you're right. It's just, it's the same. So the last comparison was, I did drink, and I was swerving a bit to the point of getting tired. And I said, hell, I can't never do this again in my life.
Yep.
And that's why I just chose it. But
Yep.
that's a great example that you set, man. It's huge, because what Anthony was getting to, I just want to just touch on that real quick, was you can show that you can party and blow through energy like crazy and do it sober. And I still do it. I'm 46 years old. And you know what I'm saying? We're still, so good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. So
No, I appreciate it. I mean, it like, listen, I mean, even your situation, I mean, at least we're both alive.
that's it.
Yep.
That's how you gotta look
That's
at
what
it.
it comes down to. There's a lot of people that have lost loved ones due to drunk driving accidents. And I mean, it's just, to me, I don't need it. Like some people, like, they don't even need it. It's just a casual thing, and that's totally fine. I don't judge people. That's the one thing about me. I'll never judge anybody.
No.
You are who you are. I'm not going to judge you, but it's just for me.
Sure.
Don't judge me for not drinking at an event, too, because I get that a lot.
Right. Well, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Come
I have
on,
fun,
one more
so.
shot. What's
Right. Right.
So after 8 years of doing your stuff on the set with the guys at 955, you had a great run. Again, you had a lot of crowd following, and the community was definitely rooting you. Then you transitioned to now what you're doing with the Woodward Sports right now that you've created.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into what and why the transition, and now where you're at, and what and why.
And how it came about.
Yeah, what and why this came about.
I mean, it's the most Chaldean thing ever, you know?
Sure.
You start to do something, all of a sudden you want to do it on your own, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're go-getters. So it was one of those that towards the end of my run, there was a couple opportunities that I just didn't get, to where it made me realize in my head, I was like, you know, I gotta
You didn't get or you didn't take?
I didn't get.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple opportunities I was going for working in radio.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I mean, I feel like I'm qualified enough to get it, and I was busting my ass to get it, and I wasn't getting them.
Okay.
And that's fine. You know, there's always someone better than you in life, but it's about how you react to that and what you do. And I felt like this was the right opportunity. My buddy Stick, not to confuse you with Slim, he was in radio with me too, and he was talking to me, and he was like, hey, what do you think of this idea? And he mentioned exactly what we're doing, and I was like, I mean, you see the world going digital.
Yeah,
I mean, we're always on our phone, you know. It's like I was going to these high school games, and people like, I would say, oh, I'm Joey with the radio on this, and they were like, oh yeah, I like listening to the more digital outlets, and you know, that made me realize where I was like, I mean, this is the future. I kind of want to be ahead of the game and come up with something and be one of the first to create it, because I mean, yeah, there's a whole bunch of podcasts, but there's really no digital network.
So explain what a digital network is.
Yeah. So, I mean, you think digital, all things digital. And you think of everybody always being on their phone. So what we are is we're a Detroit digital startup company. And all of our shows, which we got 3, and I'll get into the shows and who's on them, they're all delivered on digital platforms. So we're no radio, we're no TV. Actually, we have a couple radio signals right now that we just recently acquired. And the big thing about it is we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitter, we're live on Twitch. Huge thing right now, Twitch. And all these social media platforms and Facebook, and I could go on and on with the list. But then we also convert our content to audio only. So we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all of those.
Nice.
So it's anywhere you can get content right now. If you listen to podcasts or if you're on social media, you can go across Woodward Sports. And I'm sure you've seen our content because we have a lot of good TikToks that have gone viral and a lot of tweets that have been controversial that people want to interact with. I mean, it's all Detroit sports that we cover.
What's one of the controversial things on Twitter?
Controversial, I would say, just Adam is a guy on our network, and he's always going off on the Lions. He loves the Lions deep down, but he's always going off on the Lions. And, I mean, he's speaking from the heart, but Lions fans won't face the truth that we just suck.
Yep.
You know, it's okay.
I've seen Adam, and I respect everything he says. Like the kid is
like Carlo,
on, man.
Literally, just like Carlo. Just like Carlo.
Carlo's a little more, too emotional. This guy is like, as a matter of fact, like he
can back it up like with some actual facts. And no matter what, you're not proving him wrong.
Right.
Because he's actually speaking.
Yeah.
And honestly, Carlo's even a guy that we're looking at trying to bring on the network, because Carlo's just an amazing diehard Lions fan.
Yeah.
And it's just authentic.
It's fun to have him.
Fun.
Just listening to that guy, like, or when he starts putting his posts on Instagram, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So back to the digital aspect. So it's anywhere and everywhere digital.
It's tough to really understand the concept because we're the first to do it. You know, it's like you obviously have all these other platforms and all these other podcasts that you know of, but it's literally a show that they do once a week or whatever, and that's it.
Yeah.
We have an actual network to where we start in the morning. We have Adam, who's our morning show host, and he has Jeff on the show. But then we move on to Joik Bell from the Detroit Lions. He's on our network. And then we got Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champ with the Red Wings, on our network. Neil Rule's the host of that show, and he's the voice of Oakland University. So we got legit people that have proven themselves, have actually played the game. So it's like, who better to learn from and hear takes on Detroit sports than actual former Detroit athletes that were really good at doing it? And then our afternoon show, we got Braylon Edwards, obviously former Michigan Wolverine, and then Ryan Armani from Fox 2 News along with Maz. So
that's sweet.
Very cool show.
We've grown. We've grown. I mean, it's been 11 months, and obviously we started at the bottom, and none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for our financial advisor, who's our partner and just an amazing person that's really pushed us.
Who's that?
Chad Johnson from Lady Jane's. Okay. So he's always been a big sports guy.
I was just going to ask you what Lady Jane's has to do, or what Lady Jane's role is in the thing. So it's Chad that's your financial advisor and the money behind it all. Okay.
He's the main partner to the whole business.
Very cool.
And the thing about Chad, I mean, you go to a Lady Jane salon and get a haircut, you're seeing all sports stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like you walk in,
it looks like a sporty.
It's a sporty spot.
Yeah.
This guy is a like honestly, he could be on the show. I mean, he
Yeah.
obviously could be on the show, but
Yeah.
he's just beyond that point in life right now.
Yeah.
But he like is so diehard. Like he would be a great personality himself to be on the show. He's that diehard of a sports fan.
How did you guys get the group that you have put together? How did that come about and form over the 11 months with all these guys that you just named off?
So he's advertised with all of these big teams. So he has a lot of big relationships.
Okay.
And I mean, like Braylon Edwards, for example, you probably know he used to come to Lifetime all the time in Commerce.
Yeah.
And we used to hoop. And I'll never forget one time actually, I was playing with Pete, my older brother, and I used to be a really big crap talker. And I used to always start stuff.
Used to be, huh?
It's still maybe a little bit, but I was talking to I don't know who, and the guy tried getting up in my face, and I was younger at the time, and my brother Peter's a big guy, so nobody ever messed with me. That's why I talked so much, because I knew no matter what I say to you, you can't do nothing to me. I got Peter on my back, and people will always laugh at that because he's had to fight like 10 times just to defend me. But Braylon Edwards actually got my back. And this is when he was playing. I think he was with the Jets at the time. He was playing in the NFL. He got my back at Lifetime.
Really?
And we've been boys ever since. And obviously seeing him involved in sports broadcasting, we hit him up. So Chad honestly is a big reason that we got a lot of these names.
Yeah.
And
so Tatiana Grant was used to work with him on the marketing side of things. I used to see her at the Pistons games all the time. No, she talked him up a bunch of different
this is
times.
Braylon?
Yeah. She was, I guess, not his agent, but his marketing agent. You know, and she's in the cannabis space now, the marketing side of the cannabis space.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's in that space as well.
He's
or not.
I don't know if he is, but Joy Bell is.
Yeah.
Well,
Joy Bell is big time.
Yeah.
Darren McCarty is huge time.
Well, we just came in and dropped $50 million coming in from Chris Webber in Southwest Detroit right now.
Nice.
Yep.
He's putting
That just
that down.
dropped.
So the stars are coming back, and they put their money back, and that's huge. Whether it's that industry or whatever, if people don't get it, it's okay. Let them put it down, and that creates jobs. That creates some future. Creates change. But
I literally just left from our show. We had Calvin Johnson there. He was on the show with us.
It's another
He's
one.
another huge one in there.
And Rob Sims too.
Yeah, that's his
I
partner.
used to see him at the Pistons games. all the
One
time,
of the two most cheated athletes in the NFL, Calvin, and then comes Barry.
Yeah.
Listen, just
That's a whole conversation in itself.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you.
Everybody got their opinions on that one.
I'd love to see what your show would have been from the start to now. And I'm not, I'm not discrediting what you built a phenomenal foundation. If any of these 4 major franchises were worth a shit.
I'm going to be honest, though.
I mean, geez, man. Help us out, man.
I think that helps, though.
No.
No, I think it does because you got to realize, I mean, we come into the market as a startup where you're literally starting from the ground up.
Yeah, but
we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we have if the playing field wasn't so evened out.
But the buzz that would have been created, like right now, I can't even name 2 Red Wings. I can't name 2 Tigers. I can't name
Cade Cunningham.
20
We got
Lions.
a couple exciting
I don't even
names.
know who that is.
You know what's
You've
crazy?
never heard of Cade Cunningham.
I don't even know who he is.
You've heard of his
Listen,
name.
Diehard Piston forever.
No,
I can't remember. I can't name 3 Pistons right now.
You don't know Cade Cunningham. You've never heard that name.
Is it Piston?
Listen,
Wait, what?
I don't know.
I left.
Wow.
I'm a diehard. I was
He's
a diehard sports fan.
When's the last time the Pistons had the #1 draft pick?
Oh yeah, the Pistons.
Yeah, so
Cade,
that's who we got.
Cade Cunningham. Yeah. I know. I knew that, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't have bet
of course
a lot on it. Like if you would have asked me to name the whole roster before, I could have named everything from 12 to 13, 14,
because
15.
you were going to the games, you were excited.
But that's what it was.
That's what I'm telling
That's
you.
what he's saying. That the thrill is not
Like
there.
I used to tune into everything.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I would.
You know how much more fun? But what if you'd have 5 times the following?
See, but the cool thing is we didn't start this when the teams were amazing.
Of
and
course.
just
No,
bandwagon, just hop in and all of a sudden take over.
No.
But now the teams all suck. So when just say the Lions win the Super Bowl, that's probably not going to be the first
obviously
one.
you're getting more access now because they do suck.
Right.
And more, but
so we're able to just come in. So for us, for a business,
it builds.
This allows us. There's so much opportunity in COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, when we start this, sports weren't even a thing really.
No,
They were
you're
just
right.
starting to
Yeah.
slowly come back.
Yeah,
So for us, it's like the Lions, for example, they weren't really talking to a lot of media at the time because it wasn't even a thing, really. They couldn't even have media in the stadiums. So then we reach out, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, come on in. So it's like we had all this access now, and then once the teams do win, we're the reason that they won because we started our network during this time.
Exactly. Yeah. 50-year drought.
Yeah, we might be here for 50 years trying, but
so how does what days is the show broadcasted, or how often do you guys do this?
Every day, right?
Yeah, so it's every day. So
what times, or is it?
So we have specialty programs. So Monday through Friday are those 3 shows that I just mentioned, and we have a sports gambling show. Every single night. So we just literally added that last week. So we have 4 sports betting.
We'll get back to that. I need to hear about that.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear the schedule, and then we'll get into
the schedule is those. So the 3 main shows that I just mentioned, 8 in the morning to 10 in the morning every single day, Monday through Friday, is the morning Woodward show, and then the show with Joik Bell and Darren McCarty is every single day from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then Braylon's show with Ryan Armani and Maz, that's every day from 2 to 4. And then the gambling show's at nighttime. So that's our programming every single day. So what we do is we get that content from that show. It's live for 2 hours. We got an app. We got all these social media platforms. So if you want to download the Woodward Sports Network app, that'll definitely be a big help for us because that's the new thing we're pushing.
That's what I'm going to do right after this, guys. So you do the same.
Yeah. So
on
is
Apple.
there any audience interaction with the hosts and with the audience that tune in?
We got no listeners. That's why I'm here. No, I'm just kidding. No. We got a lot of, honestly, like, we're reaching about 5 million people a month right now.
But I'm saying, like, no interaction, like, they can't, like, while you're doing there, they can't be typing or anything or something?
On all the social media platforms. So if you comment, just say you're watching and you're on YouTube and you comment, we have it to where in the studio we can pop that comment onto the screen.
That's what I'm saying. So there's some interaction that goes on.
A lot of interaction. Then you could video chat into the show and then you can phone call into the show.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay,
so there's a lot of options, the way that people can interact with the show. I mean, that's the biggest thing about us is we like to be out and about. So like every single Lions game, we're downtown at Tin Roof. We're downtown at Brass Rail. We're always out and about doing these live broadcasts because we want to be with the fans and not just stuck in the studio.
Yeah.
What's before we get back to the gambling show? What's the business side of this? How do you monetize something like this, and how's Mr. Chad going to get his return on his investment?
Yeah, so it's all about advertising.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about it is we have these names because they're people of influence.
Yep.
So it's people that just say you have a business, and for example, shout out to Planet Fitness. They're one of our big sponsors. Okay. And Planet Fitness wants to have these names, and for them, we're going out to these high school games, and we're constantly pushing Planet Fitness. And you're getting my influence, you're getting all these other influence of the athletes on our network, and we're out there representing these brands. Yeah. And we're representing them proudly. You know, I mean, I go to Planet Fitness to work out just because of the partnership and how loyal they've been. They support me through so many charities. I mean, when I did the Make-A-Wish Foundation 300-mile bike ride, I've done that a couple times now, and Planet Fitness sponsored me and gave me thousands of dollars just to be a part of that. So it's just the relationships throughout my entire life that I've built and that have supported me, that now it's just time to give back. And the cool thing with us is it's not like a radio commercial where you just go to break and all of a sudden it's a big 8-minute commercial. We like to integrate it with the content. Gotcha. So we're just doing a 2-hour show, but they never get a long break throughout that 2-hour gap. It's literally 30 seconds, quick commercial, come right back. Talk for 8 to 10 minutes.
So this is sponsored by or is this actual commercials?
Ads, we have actual commercials.
Oh, nice.
I could even send it to you. You could show it in this stream right now of what a commercial looks like. I mean, we're going from that content straight into a produced commercial and then out to just say it's Braylon Edwards. He's over there talking about Papa Romano's Pizza, for example. So you get our influence with a live read. You get actual commercials played. Papa Romano's is one. Yep, Chris Conja over there.
Nice.
Great friend.
Good guy.
Chris Conja.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Good peeps.
Yep. So what's some of the things that you can, offer or send off to the viewers that would help them encourage to get into this kind of industry, and if there's opportunity with you guys, if you're looking for some people in your business, sometimes there is talent within our community that pays attention and reaches out and says maybe they can help or aid in this manner. So,
do you have an intern program?
Yeah, we have actually a lot of interns that help out.
Cool.
I have an intern full time with me that just follows me and does videos with me now. That's a big thing that I'm doing is on the street videos. And I mean, there's always opportunities. It's just reach out. You know, I'm one of those people that no matter what, if you reach out, even if it's not in my industry, I'll still help you out because of the relationships that I have. So you can definitely feel free. Joey Radio's on my social media platforms. If you want to just reach out, and I'll be more than willing to help you out. But opportunities within Woodward Sports, we're always looking. And the biggest thing right now, I would say, is probably graphic design right now. I mean, as far as talent and people that want to be on the show, I mean, my advice is always just starting your own podcast and getting that and growing your own podcast and getting some followers and listenership and viewership. And then that's when we do seek talent because, you've proven yourself on your own.
Perfect.
Now let's put you at a bigger scale and we can help push you and grow your brand.
Yep.
What are some events you guys got coming up that you want to let people know about, or just to kind of toot your own horn?
Yeah, I mean, any Lions home game, we're going to be at the Tin Roof right across from Comerica Park, and we do a live stream show out there, so that's a beautiful spot right there on the patio to come hang out with us. Besides that, I mean, the big charity event that we got coming up is the Stuff a Studio, so I like that towards the holiday time.
What's it called?
Stuff a Studio.
Stuff a Studio.
Yeah, so we fill our studio up with toys and we donate it to local children's hospital.
Oh, nice.
Kelly Stafford, before they moved, she actually stopped by with a big old U-Haul. She drove herself, the big 26-footer.
Yeah.
Filled it up with toys. She went to Meijer to go shop for those, and it was just amazing.
So how do people get involved in that, and how do people donate?
Honestly, I would just say follow us at Woodward Sports, and you'll be able to follow the journey. You'll be able to hear, because that is a couple months away, but I mean, you'll follow the journey. There's a lot that we're doing and a lot that you could be a part of, and just always appreciate the support, that's for sure.
What's a takeaway that people will take away from the show?
From our show?
Besides the pure entertainment value and knowledge on the sports and that.
Yeah, I think it's honestly just positivity with the team. We always like to shed a good light on our teams, even though we are bad. Even if you're not winning, there's still some good that comes out of it. I mean, the team's young, but I mean, for me, the Pistons right now, Coach Casey and Troy Weaver have done such a good job. Coach Casey's the head coach of the Pistons, by the way.
He's my neighbor.
Troy, is he really?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, not next door, but like right up the street.
Yeah. That's funny because my other buddy Anthony from Imagine, he probably lives right by you because they live near each other. Yeah. So there you go. There's another neighbor right there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him being your neighbor, you would have no clue who he was.
I remember Casey from I think Toronto.
Yep. The Raptors. Good job.
Yeah, I remember him from Toronto. When I was courtside there for those years, I'd get into it with the coaches and the players. And, all in fun, and it's just, I mean, I love the game. You remember I love this game, the NBA. I love this game. I had my graphics designer change it up, and it says, "I used to love this game."
Oh man, so good. I feel you.
Yeah. So who are of the four major sports? Who are the ones to watch?
Right now, I would say the Pistons.
No, not the game. Well, of course you got.
Oh, players.
Players on each team.
Cade Cunningham is the
That's
whole
one
talk.
Piston. Who's the other?
For the Pistons?
Yeah.
I'd say Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart is probably the next one up. I mean, he's just like, I like to look at him as a baby Ben Wallace because
really
he's got it in him.
That's high compliment. That's not very good.
It is.
That's a big shooter.
It is, and they actually got a good relationship too, which I love. Is this offseason, I mean, he's just been with them for a year. He was a rookie last year, but they've started to form a relationship when
the two in the summer league and that. Okay, beautiful.
Yep.
And it's funny that it seems like Cade is the mentor to someone that's older.
Killian Hayes.
Yeah,
Killian Hayes is who we drafted last year.
Killian,
yeah. So we drafted him last year. I mean, Cade is just, I mean, he's on that next level, like to where you see things in him that you don't really see with an incoming class, and that's why he went that number 1 overall pick, because this kid's just got it. Like he's like, even, I mean, I'm part of the Pistons media now, so I was there. Yeah, I was there at the Pistons media day, and I was just talking to him, and I'm like, this guy's just wise beyond his years.
Yeah. That's cool.
Raised well.
It comes
and
from upbringing,
himself.
I think. Parents got a lot to do with that, I'm sure.
Exactly.
What about Red Wings?
I'm like you. I could barely name it. Dylan Larkin. Okay. I mean, that's our recent captain. So Dylan Larkin is definitely the face of the Detroit Red Wings being recently.
What about our Lions?
The Lions. It's a tough one with the Lions. I mean, Jared Goff, I would say, but I don't know. I mean, Dan Campbell, our coach, has done a good job, and at least
Bro,
making
those
you
guys
feel
have been
good.
sprinkled with jinx luck, man. I mean, what kind of kick was that last Sunday?
What a game, though.
What a game, but like
What a game.
Even my
something
wife is fed up with this. Like, she doesn't even care about sports. She told me.
She feels energy.
I was outside because we just moved into a new house.
Yeah,
I'm
congratulations, by the way, on the wedding.
Thank you.
Home.
And shout out to Tianza, my wife. I feel like I have to do that.
Oh,
if I'm
yeah,
on a Chaldean show, I got to shout her out.
For sure.
I was out talking to the landscaping guy because, just being busy with the house. I walked out 2 minutes left in the game, and I was talking to him for a little while. All of a sudden, she comes in. I just hear the door was cracked. You're kidding me! And I'm like,
she gets it.
What? So I walk in. He just hit a 66-yard field. I was like,
yeah, right.
It's the hottest thing in the world. She knows.
About.
She knows now. It's the greatest
That's
thing. Parts of owning your own sports network.
Wow.
The wife's got to deal with it.
Wow. I mean, I was sitting at the counter at Shenandoah in the dining room, and Chris Jonah was sitting there too, and
when this happened?
He had the Ravens in his suicide.
Poor Chris Jonah.
And he had the Ravens in the suicide.
Oh.
So Lions came down, they kicked the field goal. He goes, they're gonna miss this field goal, and then they make it, and then it's like game's over because it's 30 seconds left, and they got the ball and down the field. They're like 66. The way Tucker came running out there, I was like, oh shit, this guy's too confident, man. He put it down and whack, and it blew. We're like, yeah.
Momentum was supposed to bring it back.
Yeah.
I'd have gone to one forward.
It went all the way to the net. It was unbelievable.
The standard heartbreaker. It's the standard routine.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to like another NFL team maybe once every 3 years. Happens to us 3 times a season.
Yep.
Oh my God,
those kinds
the
of deals.
craziest flukes ever. So
that's just our luck. You know? I mean, that's part of being a Lions fan. If you could survive being a Lions fan, though, you learn so much.
Oh yeah, we got
so much.
Yeah.
Your favorite? How about Tigers?
I'm not much of baseball.
No.
I'm really. Are you a big baseball guy?
I just want. Yeah. Well, we used to be, and that's what it comes down to when Anthony was saying I can't even name teams. I want to show you something that's really cool. So
please don't ask me to name players.
No, you're good.
You can't embarrass me.
Well, you can say Cabrera.
Yeah, I can say that.
He'll be around for
right.
some more years. He's the highest paid player on the team.
Curtis Granderson's still with us? I'm just kidding.
We used to go so much with my cousins and all that I made it to the 2014 Topps baseball card in the right-hand corner. I was yelling, fuck yeah, and they caught me when he was coming around the 9th.
That right there is amazing.
So Ryan,
that's young Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, that was 2004. So
that's young Junior Binno.
Yeah,
that's right.
So my nephew goes in on 2014's opening day. He goes and gets the pack. He's with his dad. He calls me, gong. I said, what? He goes, you're never gonna believe, bro. He was like, you're on the first card I opened up with Miguel Cabrera. I said, shut up. You know what I'm saying? These guys shit. He's like, no, I swear to God, I can't send you the picture right now because they're not going through, right? Opening day.
No.
Pat calls me too because he was next to me and he's like, man.
That's awesome.
We got a 4'5" picture created off of that and gifted to Pat, my cousin, for his birthday when Miguel signed it. So
wow.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So back to the gambling show. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously been a huge thing these last couple of, what would you say, the last year probably now is when it really became legal in Michigan, and now I mean it's easy access in the palm of your hands on your phone. So we got a couple experts that talk about just their picks and suggestions and advice. I mean for the whole gambling world.
So do you think since you do have such a big following and all, do you think their advice moves the line at all?
I wouldn't say it does because sports gambling's huge.
Yeah, no, of course.
Huge. Like, I mean, what were the numbers when MGM released the numbers of how much people did in like the first week when it became legal?
That's insanity.
It was crazy,
Yeah,
but
it is nuts.
I mean, maybe it moves the lines a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day,
locally maybe.
I possibly, but I mean, there's just so many bets being placed that I don't think it really makes that big of an impact.
So do you guys keep track of their records? Like okay, so what kind of?
It's literally a week. They've been doing it for a week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
So this is the newest show that we've launched.
I bet you that's.
What time does that broadcast on?
So that's at night, 6 o'clock.
Okay, just every night at 6 p.m.?
Yep, every night.
I think that's
and even
like
on the weekends.
catching lightning in a bottle there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at college football.
People are going to tune in heavy for that.
Yeah, because listen, like if you ever look and pay attention, like in the past, guys my buddies all would like whenever they mess with it. You'd have like covers.com, stuff like that would give you like all the ability to know both sides, to be able to see what's swaying it, which injured players. Is that like Is that kind of what you guys are doing?
I mean, just staying up to date. It's like,
you're giving it, so that gives me a
once
help.
6 o'clock hits, you want to bet on those night games.
Yeah.
He's giving you some advice of like injuries that might have happened or people that were questionable that are now playing. So you got to make some adjustments. Even just the other day, did you guys hear about the Chaldean that won $1 million?
No.
Yeah, did the I think it was the DraftKings Daily,
really?
whatever that thing is.
Wow.
Do you know his
name's Matt. I don't want to say his last name just in case he tried. I don't know if you can hide that or not, but he reached out to me and we were talking about possibly having him on the show as well.
Yeah, you should.
So it's cool, Chaldean that.
His name's Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Okay.
Wins $1 million.
That's huge. For you, Matt.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man.
Yeah, it's
Good
crazy.
shit,
When he told me that, I was
easy.
like, no.
No, you have to be strategic when you play.
Ain't nobody winning $1 million easily.
No.
But so it's a fantasy football or whatever, right?
Honestly,
not fantasy. What is it called?
I'm not really too.
It is fantasy, right?
Your draft, it is fantasy.
DraftKings,
DraftKings.
fantasy.
You're
It's like
drafting
a daily
players through
thing
the
that
day.
it was that he
so
did.
he probably played against, maybe put up $11 or $100 or something, and there's a million people playing. So
Yep.
Well, good for him.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
That world's taking over right now.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, because of the reach is so massive.
Yep.
I mean, this is in our face all day day long.
Yeah.
So Woodward Sports is strictly Detroit sports, or
as of now, we focus on Detroit sports.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're still covering everything else across the league.
So how will you scale Woodward Sports?
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, right now we're just trying to. I mean, our goal is world domination, but it's like right now we're focused on Detroit and building a brand in this city because we all have such good names here. But there's been people that reached out to us, about expansion and ideas of how we can possibly go on to other cities. But we're just focused on Detroit right now. We want to keep it close to home, and we want to make sure we master it before we get too ahead of ourselves.
Very cool. So before we wrap it up, you want to say anything to the audience, or you want to close it out with something? And before you do, do your thing or say whatever you want to say. But before you do, we have a final question for you.
Alrighty.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the biggest thing is really just thanking our community for the support over these last 9 years of my career. It's one of those things that's tough, in the beginning to really branch off into doing something completely on your own and without really much guidance. It wasn't one of those things to where I wanted to become a dentist like my brother Peter, where he had my older brother Andrew lead him with some mentorship. This was something that I literally had to start from scratch. There was really no relationships. Obviously slim, but it wasn't anything that really took that much of a role into really helping me get and push myself into going in this direction. So, there's a lot of you that are watching that have once thought about wanting to do something, but have been scared to do it, or have felt like, oh, my parents probably wouldn't like this, or it's not what Chaldeans do. There's nothing that really could relate to. If there's something you want to do, don't be afraid to try it, because, it could be something that you end up being successful, or in my case, completely changed up my entire career. So if I was scared and I didn't do it, I'd be stuck at a desk doing accounting work.
Right.
Amen.
Amen is right. So we close out every show when we do have a Kaldian on, which we've had a few that weren't, but being you are Kaldian, we close out every show with asking, what does it mean to you to be Kaldian?
Yeah. It's something that I'm really proud of. I'm proud to be Kaldian because it's one of those things that, when you meet somebody that has no clue what it is, I'm always so proud to explain what it is. And then there's people that know what Chaldeans are, and the way that they say it, it's like, oh, you're Chaldean. It's like they put you at that pedestal, and it's really awesome because it shows what we've been able to do at a small minority of people. It's not like how big is our population for real when you look at it at the grand scheme of things. So
where were your parents born?
Back home, back down.
So you're first generation American. I'm first generation American. Right. He's first generation American. So we're just talking one generation. In one generation, we've accomplished all this. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It is. Everybody should pat themselves on the back for real.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out and spending some time with us, man. It was a pleasure. Very insightful. Very inspirational. You're a idol to a lot of young people a lot of older people, and you make a Chaldean community proud, man.
Yeah, let's go get drunk.
Yeah, let's go.
So before we're signing off, you guys get to follow him at Woodward Sports, right?
Yeah,
That's
Woodward Sports.
Yep, and then that can be found on the podcasts, all the major ones that are out there, like he said originally, from Spotify to
Apple
and
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud. So anything and everything you can think of, from YouTube all the way down.
Never thought we'd even be so big on TikTok. We're starting to become like viral on TikTok.
So I've never used it, so
Crazy.
I might, just start getting. I've been hearing to get into a little bit more. So
It's
I
fun.
think-
It really is. It's
I heard-
addicting though. Be careful.
That's what I've heard too. So that's my biggest scare is that. But so we want to thank you at least for coming on the show, but also for inspiring all the youth that you've worked with and all the good stuff that you're doing. So hopefully this year Matt Stafford will win his championship, and then his wife can come with 3 trucks this year to drop off for you. So that'd be a real
If that's what him winning it is gonna do, then I'm all for it.
it.
Besides that, we got a draft pick that if they suck, right.
Yep. So signing off right now from Anthony, myself, Joey in the house right now. So it was great, and we'll see you. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit like, and follow this guy.
Yeah, we gotta blow this Keeping Up with the Chaldeans now. Come on.
Let's do it.
We got
Do
to.
it, baby. Thank you. Signing
Thanks.
off.